Alright, yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to a new type of YouTube channel. We're gonna be another type of NBA channel out here, out of the hundreds and thousands of channels. But one thing about us is that we're actually cool and good looking. And there's three of us. So my name is Sohaib, and then my partners in crime are Noman, or no. We messed up already. We messed up. Cool. Sorry, guys. We messed up already. Okay, so restart. So our podcast is gonna be called the SMH My Head because we're gonna make everybody shake their heads with our hot takes. So again, my name is Sohaib, and then we got Haider and Murtaba.
Yeah.
So just to introduce ourselves, I'm gonna be the coolest guy on the channel. Murtaba is gonna be the analytical one, so you can tell who he is when you hear somebody smart. That's him. And then we got Haider, who's gonna be.
I'll just be chill.
He'll just be chill. He'll be the chill guy.
I'll be chilling here, yeah.
And then before we begin our nice journey, just want to let everybody know we are a Kyrie Irving hate channel, and a James Harden hate channel.
Yes.
So if you like them, feel free to dislike. We don't care. We're just pretty much here for the monetization. That's
also, really let it be known each of us is at least 6'5" in height and weighs about 230 to 250 range. We're very athletic. So us critiquing these grown men playing basketball is completely fair.
Yeah, like we can do everything they do on the court, like all the lobs.
So Habe's vertical is 41 inches.
Yep.
Mustafa's about a 38,
yep.
And I jump about a 25.
25?
Yeah, that's true.
I thought it was 45 last time we checked.
Yeah, I would be humble, you know.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Sunday.
Didn't know that.
Okay, so what we're gonna do today, since it's the preseason, we're gonna be talking about our preseason thoughts and then some early playoff predictions, and then we're gonna have some Clippers slander to continue about the 3-1 lead that they blew last playoffs. So,
yes.
So let us begin.
So we're starting with preseason, right?
Yeah.
Predictions.
Preseason predictions, and then based on what we've seen so far.
Okay.
How about I list my predictions? You guys just.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, which one's gonna go first?
All right, so for my Eastern Conference predictions, these ones are less controversial, I would say, because there's just less good teams in the East. But first seed, I'm gonna keep the Bucks at the first seed just because they've pretty much either stayed the same or gotten better compared to last season. They still have Giannis, they still have Middleton, and now they added Drew Holiday. Their defense is a lot better, especially with Drew Holiday, and they have a lot better playmaking with getting rid of Eric Bledsoe. But so I don't really see anything combating them from losing the first seed.
Do you agree that Eric Bledsoe is trash?
Yes, he's especially in the playoffs. He's terrible.
Dude's jacked. I'll give him that, but he's trash.
All right. Any other thoughts?
I mean, Bucks are always safe.
Yeah, Bucks is a safe bet, and you can tell that was more so talking already because he gave logic. I would have just said Bucks number one because Giannis is so cool and tall. That would have been my reasoning. But yeah.
Yeah, they always start off really, really strong, and then Bucks in the playoffs.
But yeah, all the
yeah.
questions are about how they're going to perform in the playoffs because they always come short.
Yeah.
But second place, I'm actually judging by how Kevin Durant and Kyrie are playing. I'm putting the Nets at number 2
I like that.
I do because I believe Steve Nash can be a good enough coach to lead them to that.
And we're watching the game right now as
Steve
we're recording this.
Steve Nash is a stud. Man, aged like fine wine.
Yeah, and he got a cool new haircut too, so that's gonna give him at least three slider points on the playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't have that emo cut like he did when he was a player.
Right on Phoenix.
With his long hair.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The only questions I do have with this team is that their defense, just because their best defenders are Jared Allen.
Yeah.
And that's about it. The perimeter defense is meh.
The biggest question is the toxicity in that locker room.
Yeah. And because Kyrie's leadership abilities is really going to be put to the test this season.
Mm-hmm.
So because he was already getting questioned in Boston, but
right.
Now that he signed here as a free agent, all eyes are on him because he chose to be here.
Right. We have to really see if his chakras align this season.
Yeah. Yeah, and pretty much just hoping Kevin Durant gets back.
Kevin Durant looks good.
He looks
so
good,
far.
But,
He looks.
good. He's playing against the worst defense in the league.
Yeah,
and the three best players.
Wizards do look like scrubs right now, but I mean they caught up. They caught up this game at least.
Yeah. So it's mostly going to be lingering on how good Kevin Durant still is.
Yeah.
Because if he's back to 100%, they're probably the second best team, if not the best.
I think best. If he's healthy,
If he's like
they're best.
completely 100%,
Yeah, they're the
because
best.
Number one seed.
because Kevin Durant's like was the second best player in the league. Most
Yep.
people said before he got injured.
And that's debatable too,
Exactly.
right?
All right.
So number one seed basically either the Bucks or the Nets.
Uh-huh.
Bucks or the Nets, but it's more safer to bet on the Bucks. And then third, I put the Celtics because
Because Jason Tatum grew 2 inches.
They listed him at 6'10". Is that
Yeah,
6'10"?
so-
Yeah.
The only question with this team is really their depth, because their starting lineup's pretty good. It's
Yeah,
gonna
who do they
be,
got on the bench?
It's gonna be.
Well, they lost Gordon Hayward to like a $200 million something contract.
Okay, Gordon. That's
Oh,
that
that's
makes no
actually a good
sense.
thing to mention.
Yeah.
So their starting lineup is gonna be Kemba, probably Marcus Smart,
Jalen
shooting
Brown.
guard, and then Jalen Brown, small forward, Jason Tatum, power forward,
Right.
and then was it Tristan Thompson they signed at?
Wait, they got Tristan Thompson?
Yeah, they got Tristan Thompson. I'm guessing he's gonna be their starting center.
Thompson, bro.
And then depth wise, they really don't have. I mean, they got Jeff Teague, who's probably gonna be backup point guard. They still have Robert Williams,
Just he's alright.
Romeo Langford. They still have Grant Williams. Yeah, it's pretty much just guys that they've drafted over time.
Yeah, I think they need more depth. You're right.
Yeah.
Didn't sound too promising.
But you know, Brad Stevens, he's still probably a top 5 coach.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Tatum's probably still gonna make improvements,
Yeah.
especially with that fat contract he got.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he grew 2 inches, which may
I think
come in
he's-
handy.
It's the shoes. 2 inches on.
shoes.
Yeah, I think it's.
He's
the shoes,
wearing
bro.
new shoes.
Yeah.
I thought NBA player heights were without shoes on.
Oh.
I got you.
All right. All right. One interesting thing is that they have $30 million in salary that they haven't filled yet because the Gordon Hayward trade. So they could use that in the middle of the season to trade for 1 or 2 other players to try to beef up their roster.
And start beef with other teams because Boston Celtics are crybabies. For the 4th seed, I think pretty much 76ers. They're gonna be up there.
Yeah.
I put 4 and 5. Well, they're gonna versus each other in the playoffs anyway. But I'm gonna say Heat is number 4 and Sixers are number 5. But they might be close to the same in
Who
record.
did Sixers pick up?
Sixers
Rondo.
got
No, not Rondo. Rondo went to Hawks.
they got Dwight Howard, who's probably gonna be back up for Joel Embiid.
Oh, and they got Danny Green from the Lakers.
They got Danny Green
Ah.
and what is it? Second guy, Seth Curry.
They got Seth.
They got Seth
Yeah.
Curry. So I mean, that's a pretty good lineup because they fixed their 2 biggest problem. Well, yeah, their really biggest problem was that really bad spacing,
Mm-hmm.
and they got rid of Al Horford, which was playing like terribly
Yeah.
next to Joel Embiid just because he's not a good power forward.
Yeah, and once Ben Simmons learns how to shoot, they might do a little bit better.
I mean, if the shooting's good enough, Ben Simmons doesn't need to shoot
Honestly, Ben Simmons, I think he should just keep diving. He's good at what
because
he
he can be
does.
like a Giannis light.
Yeah. And if Giannis is as good as he is, Ben Simmons can do, if he wants to.
It's like his absolute ceiling is like Giannis who can pass
Yeah, which is honestly better if you think about it.
theoretically,
Yeah,
but we haven't seen him get to that level yet.
right.
But he's like the Sixers, if everything clicks, could be like dark horse contenders.
Yeah.
But they do have Doc Rivers as a coach. Which
I
some people say
I
he's
don't
good,
like that. I
Doc-
don't like that.
Doc,
But
I think
seeing-
his
yeah.
one win on the Celtics in 2008 was a total fluke.
Yeah.
It was only because it was a super team.
Yeah,
he
I
had much to
don't
do
think
with
Doc can actually.
Yeah, it's like the team
Coach.
is like what? There's so many like stats. Like he's blown 3-1.
He's blown a 3-1 lead in 3 different presidencies. That's still will do it in another presidency.
Westbrook was just talking trash to the Wizards.
He also
Yeah.
blew multiple 3-2 leads in the playoffs, which I mean they aren't as bad as 3-1, but still that's pretty bad. Multiple 3-2 leads in the playoffs, and you know, he has a reputation of not being able to close series like that, and especially with Boston, like that team, they had a playoff record of like they lost 10 games in the playoffs. Like even they played their first matchup as the first seed, the 1-8 matchup, to 7 games. So like they were struggling, but they pretty much like out talented everyone because they had 4 All-Stars on the team. Well, yeah,
And then Kobe was the reason for the downfall.
3 All-Stars.
Yes.
Because Rondo wasn't an All-Star yet.
R.I.P. Kobe.
Yeah. All right, so we got number 4 and 5 done. Number 6, I think it's either going to be between the Wizards or the Hawks.
I still put Raptors.
Raptors. Who
Oh,
Raptors
dude, we forgot Raptors.
Because I kept.
They
They,
gotta
they
be
can't
higher
come
up.
across the border right now.
Because just
They're
because
in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
they,
they lost.
they never went back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that they're in Florida, but now they lost Serge Ibaka, who's coming off the bench, but he was really good for them. He was a big man who can shoot and
He's good for
play,
spacing.
play good defense. Yeah,
Yeah, he's good for spacing.
and he was really good in the playoffs too.
Yeah.
They lost Marc Gasol, and they did get Aaron
So
Baines, who's
Lakers,
pretty
yeah.
solid, but he's like an average, slightly.
I'll
average starter.
never count out the Raptors though.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
find a way in the playoffs.
I mean, they have Kyle Lowry, who
Yeah.
I think is their best player right
yeah,
now. Just
dump
because,
truck.
because Siakam, even though he's like their future or whatever, he was really, really bad in the
He was
playoffs.
bad, yeah.
So, like, even if he just played average in the playoffs, the Raptors would have been in the finals.
He was averaging like upper 20s.
Yeah,
Regular
I mean,
season.
for most of the season, he was
Yeah.
averaging like 25 last season.
Right.
But in the playoffs, he was averaging
Yeah.
like 15 or 18 points on really bad efficiency.
Turnovers.
So many
yeah.
turnovers, but like he was pretty much stayed on the court just to play defense.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, which was fine, but that wasn't enough to get past the Celtics. But yeah, even if he played like slightly worse than average, they would have gotten past the Celtics and probably against the Heat because I think they would have matched up better than the Celtics.
Yeah.
But he just didn't have it in him, so he's gonna have doubts going.
So you got Raptors at what, 6?
Raptors at 6.
6. Okay.
In 7th, I am actually gonna predict the Hawks being 7th seed.
Yeah.
Because I do think Trae Young is good enough to lead an offense into the playoffs, especially in the East. Especially with the added depth with Rondo, Chris Dunn, Danilo Gallinari.
Mm-hmm.
So they beefed up both their offense and defense, especially now that Trae doesn't have
Trae.
to carry the offense now. So he probably won't be averaging 30 points a game again. But he's probably still going to average maybe like 25, but on much better efficiency because he's not the only person who can shoot threes on the team.
You haven't said Heat yet?
I said he has 4.
He was
6
4 or
so
5.
Heat's 4? Okay.
I didn't really speak much about the Heat actually,
Okay.
but
Tyler Hero's gonna carry the league.
I mean I'm not as high on Tyler Hero as most other people. Like I think he could be like an all-star, but
He'll be a good role player.
You think he's gonna do that snarl again?
I hope he does.
He better.
He's
Only when they're down by 30 though.
yeah,
I like his swagger.
like yeah, he's
He's
kind
got
of
good
cocky,
swagger. Yeah.
but like it's part of the culture,
He's
I
cool.
guess.
Yeah.
Dude. I like Tyler Hero.
I like him.
But yeah, he's pretty good. But I don't. But people think he's gonna be like a future.
He doesn't
All-time
deserve the
great.
praise he gets right now.
I mean,
He's
a rookie
good.
after one
Like
But
he
he
had
wouldn't
he had a
deserve
few
it.
good games in the playoffs, but if you look at his stat, he averaged like 15 points for the entire playoffs on like his average, like the same efficiency as his regular season, pretty
Right.
much. So you really shouldn't be that high on him. Maybe like his absolute ceiling is like a slightly worse Devin Booker,
Slightly worse.
or like
Devin
actually
Booker.
probably worse Devin Booker.
Kendall Jenner starting 5.
We're doing that right now.
Okay.
I don't know.
That'll be different.
I only-
We will analyze Kendall Jenner lineup though.
I think they're pretty solid.
I only know like 3 players who dated Kendall.
Oh, we got D-Book, Simmons, Blake Griffin.
We got a solid team. That should be a
solid.
finals.
Yeah.
No, All Star. That should be All Star game.
Team
One-on-one
Chloe.
tournament.
Team Chloe versus Team
Kardashian
Yeah.
lineup. I mean, they have the story like the Kardashian curse.
Yeah.
Players start playing worse when they start dating a
Yes.
Kardashian.
D-Book is still pretty good though.
I mean, he was great in the bubble.
Yeah. And so I don't know. Maybe Kendall changed.
I mean, okay. And next for my 8th seed, I'm gonna put the Washington Wizards because I think Westbrook and Bradley Beal is a good enough duo to
Yeah.
at least get you to the playoffs in the
Who do you
East.
think got the worst end of the stick between Westbrook and John Wall trade?
So now that I'm looking about it, I hate on Westbrook, but
People, he
James
gets too much
Harden
hate.
Was the problem?
was the
It's
problem.
clearly the problem.
Yeah.
Problem.
Westbrook, if he's your teammate, you love him. Any other team hates him.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem
Because he
was
barks too much on the
He's a-
court.
yeah.
well, the thing is that the Rockets didn't do that good in the playoffs because Westbrook came out they rushed him back from injury. Like if you
Yeah.
saw his stats at the end of the regular season, like after they traded everybody their center, he was averaging like 30 for like a good like 15 games on like really good efficiency.
I mean,
So like
Westbrook's
that's when he was like
Westbrook's a
maximum.
dog.
Yeah, like he was maximized under that Rocket system, but because he
Mhm.
came back from injury and the Lakers just like had this like suffocating defense, they just couldn't compete.
Yeah. I don't know though. John Wall and Boogie looked
They
good.
played pretty good.
They looked really good.
Even
So
without James
it
Harden.
might have been a good trade on both sides.
I
We'll
mean,
see.
I mean, John Wall is significantly worse than Westbrook. Like, in my opinion, like Westbrook has like 9 all.
Yeah.
Westbrook has like
Yeah.
9 all NBA teams. John Wall has 1, and it was a third team.
But John Wall's
John
a
Wall's a
blood,
gang.
bro.
Yeah,
he's
bro.
a blood.
Yeah, but he's taken. They took him away from his gang.
He
Word
did
on the
Dougie.
street is he only went to the Rockets so he can wear red.
Exactly.
That's it. That's the only reason.
Their city
Young
editions
blood.
are blue, no?
Oh, they are.
The city jerseys are blue.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's
they
not
don't
too
look
bad.
too bad.
Yeah.
They don't look too bad, but it's not Houston.
Yeah, it
doesn't
doesn't
remind me
make
of
sense.
Houston.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, unless it's like a tribute to something, because I know OKC's was black as a tribute to like the OKC bombing.
Oh.
That was their city jersey last year.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Wizards, yeah, I mean, either their defense is going to be like absolutely terrible, but you know Westbrook and Beal, and they have a couple of other like decent players, and they have Rui Hachimura, who was their rookie last year,
Rui's good.
who's
Rui's
been
good.
showing good signs, so he
Mhm.
might make some improvements. But yeah, this team doesn't play defense, and their coach is all right, but he might get fired if they miss the playoffs. So that's what you get. Yeah, and let's see for my ninth seed,
Magic.
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 Well, I said without losing Jonathan Isaac, well, because the whole season because he tore his ACL in the bubble, I think.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
the team is just without him as who's probably their best defensive team. They're gonna have either like an average. They're gonna be maybe like an average defense and a below average offense. So I
Aaron
think
Gordon is gonna take the next step. He's gonna be good. I feel it.
people have been saying that for the last
Bro.
5 years.
He got robbed of
Of
the
the
dunk
dunk.
contest.
We're still upset about
Yes.
that.
That was straight.
I mean, yeah, he was robbed of at least one, maybe both dunk
Yeah.
contests,
Yeah.
but that's not relevant to this. To the
It's
standings.
very relevant.
Very relevant.
They're taking ninth.
I don't think so. I mean, my choice is either the Bulls or the Hornets because
Okay,
Bulls aren't going nowhere.
Bulls are trash.
Yeah.
Yo, we're from Chicago, by the
Bulls are
way.
trash.
We love the Bulls. Free D Rose. The Bulls are trash right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically gonna be a matter of if Jim Boylan, how much of the problem was it? Because last season they were expected to make the playoffs, maybe like an 8th or 7th seed, but Jim Boylan it was a really bad coach.
Mhm.
Like Lauri Markkanen, became worse.
Yeah.
He was really good.
He was really good at second
Yeah.
season.
Mhm.
Like he averaged like 19 points on like pretty good efficiency, but the next season with Jim Boylan he averaged like 13.
Right, and that makes no sense.
So if he gets unleashed again, he could be a good their second best player. Patrick Williams, even though people were making fun of him as the 4th draft pick, he wasn't looking bad in the games at least, and he has like pretty good potential. He can play both forward spots. So who knows? Maybe he could be like ready to contribute already. And let's see.
I am curious to see how LaMelo Ball will, if he'll live up to the hype or not, because
It's,
Lonzo Toy didn't.
Yeah, but LaMelo Ball has a lot more like shooting confidence.
Yeah.
So I mean,
LaMelo could be like a taller Trey Young.
but I don't think he can shoot that well. Like Trae
He's
Young was
a
known
decent
for shooting.
shooter.
No, LaMelo he averaged like 25% in Australia.
But he shoots, bro. He is not scared to shoot.
He's not scared to
Yeah.
shoot, but that might get him
But
in
I
trouble.
feel like he'll get in the hang of it. I have a feeling LaMelo's gonna be good.
He's going to be definitely better than Lonzo.
Yeah.
I do think he has
That's
much
fair.
higher ceiling than Lonzo. Like
Mhm.
potentially,
I
like
think Lonzo
best-
came to the league a lot more cocky because he was the first one from the family, and then LaMelo kind of, I think, learned from that.
Yeah.
Jello's on the Pistons.
Yeah,
The
I mean he's on like a G League contract.
he
I
doesn't
think.
even play or anything.
But yeah, I think if LaMelo could really fulfill that potential, I could see the Hornets making like an attempt at a playoff spot.
I mean, I would hope so. Seeing how much Hayward just got paid.
Jordan's out here just giving charity, man.
Yeah, I don't understand.
like half the players are signed with Jordan Brand.
Yeah.
It's like just because.
Very charitable guy right now.
I mean, they got what? Michael Bridges,
No, Miles Bridges.
Miles Bridges.
Miles Bridges, I mean, he's in like his 3rd season. I
He's
think
decent. I like him.
he's decent. They got Devontae Graham, who had,
Oh, he went off last season.
he had a good season last
Yeah.
year. Maybe he's probably gonna play shooting guard this season though because LaMelo.
Yeah. Think they can start him?
Devontae?
They're gonna start Lamelo.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
probably. I mean,
Yeah, he's their first rounder, but
if he actually has superstar potential, maybe try to play him to
we'll see. Yeah.
get it out. But yeah, I'm like LaMelo definitely has like best point guard in the league potential.
Oh yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
But
Best point guard in the league?
in the future,
In his era,
Oh,
like
yeah.
respective
like by
era.
the time in his prime,
Mhm.
like it's either gonna. I mean, if Luka stays playing point guard,
Like
it's definitely
LeBron's 20th prime,
Yeah,
that'll be like
LeBron's
LaMelo's
first prime.
like first prime.
LaMelo was
Yeah.
first prime and LeBron's 6th prime.
Exactly.
Let's see. Yeah, those are my Eastern Conference standings. Teams that are
Western.
So wait, recap the Easter then. So Bucks first, Nets second.
Bucks, Nets, Celtics, Heat, and then Sixers, Raptors, the Hawks, then Wizards, and then potentially the play-in is either gonna be Bulls or Hornets. I just have some hope for the Bulls, but I'm not counting on it.
I'm switching Sixers with Raptors.
Yeah.
I think everything is fine, but Sixers Raptors.
You think Raptors are gonna be that much?
Yeah.
I mean, they have a chance because was it? They have Nick Nurse, who
he's a great coach.
He won Coach of the Year last year. Kyle Lowry, OG Anunoby. So and they just.
I feel like Pascal will figure it out. He'll play pretty well.
Yeah, if he figures it out, they could go back to top 5.
Yeah.
As a top 5 team, but I just see the other teams, especially in terms of like how good they are, especially in the playoffs. I think the rest of them can be actually have an argument for being contenders.
Yeah.
But I don't see the Raptors being that.
All right, Western. Number 1 seed Lakers, no question about it.
No question about it. Honestly, I could, depending on how many games LeBron load manages, he could make an MVP run, and because of the voter fatigue around Giannis, he could actually win it this year.
Oh yeah.
The only
or Luka can be the new youngest MVP.
I'm hoping for Luka.
Yeah, I was gonna do MVP predictions later too. But yeah, Lakers, pretty sure nobody's questioning this. They were the first seed last year, without really much trying. Like LeBron was coasting all season.
Yeah.
They still got first seed.
Yeah, chilling.
Yeah, I mean, they still have AD. They have better players. Some better players. They got Montrez. They got Dennis Schroeder.
Yep.
And I mean, there's really not much.
They're
to
promising.
it.
I mean, there's no point.
They got 2 6 men of the year basically.
Yeah, I mean, and they're heavy favorites.
Yeah.
To win the title.
And
again.
garbage time Lakers beat the Clippers. That's it. Even though I know it's a preseason game, but still they beat them.
Yo, Taylor Horton Tucker, man.
Yo, he put up 20? 21?
I thought it was 15.
No, I think 19. I don't know.
He was up there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like how long his limbs are. I feel like that helps in the NBA. So
all right, second seed, Warriors probably.
Really? You're
What's
putting
that?
Warriors that high?
I don't know.
I don't think second.
Well, they picked up that one guy, the pretty boy.
Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, him.
He plays really good defense.
He plays good defense.
Really good defense.
I mean, what is it? But I don't have. I just don't have him that high, just because their depth is non-existent.
What did you say?
But what is it? Second place, I have.
No, dude, if Steph Curry is really that good, they should have no problem getting second seed.
Not second. I mean, the depth is non-existent for this team. Their defense.
Not right now. I
really
don't think they're
bad.
back to top 3 yet.
Yeah. I mean, if they had Klay Thompson, I would say there would be top 4 seed guaranteed.
Yeah. Okay.
The guaranteed top 4 seed. But losing him,
Free Clay.
Now all the Warriors fans know what Chicago went through in 2011-12 when Derrick Rose got back-to-back ACL tears.
Yeah,
after
I remember the
MVP.
commercials. They were hyping it up so much, like the return of the MVP, and then he just gets injured 10 games into the season.
Right, we're still crying about
Still
that.
PTSD.
Literally, how to make any Chicago Daisy boy cry? Just show him the picture of Derrick Rose falling to the ground.
I love Derrick
And
Rose.
then the edit with Simba next to him.
You gotta get up.
That one hurts. That one hurts.
Alright, but for my second seed, I put the Clippers just because last season they got the second seed without even trying.
Yeah.
They were load managing and everything. They might be better at coaching, and they might actually.
Pandemic PS $223 million more. So
Yeah, he did get the bag, so they might actually try because they have something to prove, I guess. So depending on how good that goes,
I'm putting Nuggets third.
I put Nuggets third as well.
Yep.
Just because they're just a solid team. They didn't really they did lose Jeremy Grant.
He's a great role player.
He's one of the best role players in the league. But
He went to Pistons, right?
yeah, which I don't get.
Mhm.
He only went there just to get more opportunity because the Nuggets were offering him the same amount of money.
yeah, and Jamal Murray needs more justice in 2K21
Yo,
ratings.
yeah, shout out Jamal Murray.
Yeah, Jamal Murray really should have. If he plays even 75% of what he did in the playoffs, the Nuggets could be dark horse contenders, especially if Michael Porter Jr. Keeps making improvements.
Yeah, Jamal Murray's an all-star.
He could definitely be, especially with how he played in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth, this might surprise some people, but 4 and 5. I put. I'm gonna say the Warriors and the Blazers are gonna match up against each other in the playoffs in the first round.
Game time.
Yeah, but Curry always destroys Dame in the playoffs.
Yeah, because it's not like PG. PG and Dame, they go at it. But
Yeah.
Steph's a different animal. He's just quick.
Yeah, it's like I am pretty high on the Warriors. I mean, cause some people said they might miss the playoffs without Clay,
No,
but that's
they're
just
still
stupid.
make the playoffs.
Like they still have Steph. They might have to try, because like the
Steph-
last couple of
Steph
Steph
seasons.
might actually have to try.
Yeah, it's like
Instead
because
of
last
shoot threes.
because last couple of seasons they like coasted and they
Mhm.
still got the first seed, but now they might actually have to try, but because their team has like no depth.
No,
It's like they have like Eric Pascal.
they have promising rookies though.
Yeah, I mean, they have. I think James Wiseman's gonna start for them.
Yeah, I think so.
But was this their starting lineup? It was
Wiggs.
Steph, Wiggins,
Mhm.
Kelly Oubre,
Yep.
Draymond, and then James Wiseman probably.
Which is a playoff type team.
That's definitely a good starting lineup,
Yeah.
but their bench is really
Yeah.
really bad, and so
Dude,
it's
Draymond's getting old, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Nah,
think he's
he's-
coming off his. I think he's done with his prime.
no, he's like
I-
31.
I don't
Is
see
he
how.
31? I thought he was like 36. I don't know.
No, he's 31. But
I don't see the
I
hype
don't think
around
Draymond.
Draymond.
Yeah, Draymond Green. I
I
don't
don't
think he's gonna play like he did
Yeah,
during their last run in the finals.
I mean, it's really just a matter of question of how good he is in the playoffs because
He
Draymond-
also never tries in the regular season.
yeah, Draymond like
Yeah.
noticeably doesn't try in the regular season. Like in the 2019 regular season, he averaged like 8 points and it was like fine, but in the playoffs he
he
led.
almost averaged like a triple double, didn't
Yeah, he averaged like I don't know how many points, but like 12 points, but like 9 rebounds, 9
Yeah.
assists and stuff. He led the league. He led the playoffs in like assists, steals, blocks,
he? Yeah,
like everything, and triple doubles. So like he definitely turns it up in the playoffs, but he might have to start trying in the regular season just to get in the playoffs.
yeah.
So we'll see. But he's still like one of the best defensive players in the league.
I'm gonna put them at 7.
7?
Warriors.
Warriors.
I mean, I'm pretty high on if the Warriors and Steve Kerr's coaching can actually like fix Andrew Wiggins because he sounds motivated enough to actually like try like that
I
because
lost all trust in Wiggins.
I mean I kind of did too, but I think he looks like he's actually willing to try because he like put in a lot of work. He gained some muscle too. And he's actually like changing his play style a little bit and playing more defense. So if he can actually unlock that potential, like he could be like a potential all-star candidate.
Hopefully.
Like he had that potential going into the NBA.
Yeah, they thought he was supposed to be like super promising.
Yeah. So I mean, it's definitely in him. It's just a matter of actually getting it out.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one, 6 seed. I mean, actually, I'm going to say Blazers. I'm going to talk about a little bit of the Blazers. They got a lot better compared to last season, and most people didn't really talk about it. Like, they re-signed Rodney Hood, I think, who's one of their, like, defensive players.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
They traded for Robert Covington, who's one of the best
Great
players in the
defense.
league.
Yeah.
Great defender and great
Mhm.
3-point shooter. They still have Dame. Nurkic is gonna play the full season. Who's definitely
He's also very underrated, I feel.
Yusuf Nurkic.
Mm-hmm.
Very good player. He's only getting paid like $10 million a year too.
Really?
Yeah, which is pretty good. And then
CJ, obviously CJ.
yeah, Dame, CJ.
Yeah.
The only question I have is their guard defense, just because Dame and CJ are both really pretty bad defenders.
Mm-hmm.
But they signed as many players as they could to try to help with that.
They still got Enes Kanter too, right?
Enes Kanter, he's not a good defender, but I think
Mhm.
he's going to come off the bench.
Okay.
But yeah, Blazers could be a very good team if everything works correctly. So I do anticipate them versus the Warriors
And that's
in the
just
playoffs.
one.
And that's one of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
By 5. All right.
There you go.
6 seed, I have
I
the
think the
Mavericks. Oh, really? I put
They
the
got
Mavericks.
Chris
Mavs,
Paul.
bro.
I
Yeah.
mean, Suns got Chris Paul.
I think Mavs.
But here's the
are
thing.
better.
The Mavs, depending on how good Luka is next season, the Mavericks could be anywhere from like top 3 seed, honestly.
Yeah, it's Luka Magic, bro.
Yeah, it's like because he is probably gonna be the next best player in the NBA when LeBron retires.
Yes.
LeBron's already hyping Luka up. LeBron he said in an interview he wanted to sign Luka to his brand.
Oh,
But
did
Luka
he?
signed with Jordan Brand, yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
Everyone knows Luka's like
yeah.
the next-
It's like he's
yeah.
he's 21. He's pretty much like unanimous top
such
10
a
player.
good dude too.
Yeah, he's amazing playmaker, great scorer.
Yeah.
He's like a main defender, but he probably can work on that.
Yeah.
But the team didn't really get that much better compared to last season.
Yeah.
They did lose.
But if Giannis signs with the Dallas Mavericks, then
Yeah, I think that would be a
it's
perfect fit.
Oh, and Kristaps Porzingis might be missing a good amount of games, so that's why I have him lower in
He got
standings.
injured again, remember?
Speaking of that, that got injured too. Caruso. He
Alex
injured
Caruso?
his hip
When?
last game.
Really?
That's what the girl was like massaging his hip.
Is he gonna be out for a little bit?
He's gonna miss today's game.
Oh,
Hopefully, they're saying he'll be back for Tuesday's game.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, hip injuries usually aren't that severe. But yeah, I don't see the Mavericks getting that much better, like roster wise, and because they didn't really do much this offseason because they're saving cap space for next offseason to hopefully sign Giannis.
Try signing another.
Yeah, so they didn't do anything this semester. This
semester.
this
Yeah.
offseason.
We're coming up
Finals, dude.
Coming up final season, so
Yeah. So, they're probably gonna stay around that lower half, but depending on how good Luka is for his third season, he could make an MVP run, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. 7th seed, that's where I put the Phoenix Suns, because I'm a very big fan of the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, I put them 8 though.
So I'm gonna put. I think they got a lot better compared to what people realize, especially with how good of a coach Monty Williams was in the bubble, especially.
they basically got a second coach with Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they got.
That's a good way.
So Chris Paul and Devin Booker, potentially one of the best backcourts in the league already. That's 2 All-Stars.
Yeah, basically.
We'll see.
That's 2 All-Stars. Chris Paul.
I'm not bought in yet.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not bought in.
Why?
I just don't like
I
how
don't know.
Devin Booker looks like a teddy bear. He has such a punchable face.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. I'm really high on Devin Booker.
No, Devin Booker is like he's
You think-
superstar talent.
You think
But
Chris Paul's like gonna start declining?
I do.
Yeah,
He played great last season.
I think that was his last run at prime Chris Paul. I think he's gonna start winding down now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but he's not expecting to be prime Chris Paul in this team.
I know he's gonna be a facilitator,
Especially,
playmaker. but
especially with Devin Booker, he's probably gonna be the second option.
Who else do they have?
They got DeAndre Ayton, who is potentially like
He's
an
gonna shoot
all-star.
up steroids. What else do they got?
Who's like an all-star, potentially big man. Especially, I mean, we see Chris Paul with big men.
He's
He
good.
turned
He's
DeAndre Jordan from a second-round pick to All NBA first team
And Blake Griffin.
just from Lob
Yeah.
City.
Lob City. Was good, man.
So like, if Chris Paul can do that with DeAndre
Okay,
Jordan,
Lob City Clippers versus the Clippers now. Who do you think is better?
this Clippers. Like they both choked, but
Lob
one
City
team.
Clippers was funner to
Lob
watch.
City Clippers was definitely funner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't like talk to the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still consider Kawhi to be better than Chris Paul.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 2 Finals MVPs.
Mhm.
But Blake Griffin, he's fun to watch.
They're very fun to watch.
He was fun to watch,
Mm-hmm.
but I just don't see it. But yeah, anyway, what is it? 6 seed,
Who's your
7
eighth then?
8 seed.
8 seed. I said the Jazz just because they were 6 seed last.
Yeah.
They were 6 seed last season, but they didn't do anything this season. I'm pretty sure. Like except they just re-signed Donovan Mitchell to a fat contract. That's pretty much it.
The Jazz
He did
versus
so
Nuggets
good.
series last bubble playoffs was
Great.
probably one of the funnest ones.
Yeah.
It was really fun. I didn't watch all of the games. I watched like games 1, 5, and 7, I think. But there were like 50-point games almost every
50, what
game.
was it, like 50, 47, 50.
Yeah,
It was
crazy.
nuts.
Yeah, it was absurd. But I don't see them getting that much better compared to last season. So
Bro,
and
what
other
about
teams
What
got a
about
lot
the
better.
Kings, bro?
Kings,
Who did they get?
they didn't get anybody.
They freaking let go of
Bogdan.
Yeah, Bogdan.
Yeah. Where did he go?
They let him walk.
Hawks.
He went to
Hawks.
Hawks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bogdan.
I thought that was stupid.
It was
he was about to go
stupid.
to
Yeah.
Milwaukee though, but then he was like,
The
Nobody
sign and
knows-
trade or
yeah, he's like,
whatever.
nobody's
Yeah.
talking about Milwaukee. They-
No, they weren't allowed to announce sign and trades yet because draft picks. You couldn't trade draft picks yet because you can't do that before the draft. So saying you agreed to a sign and trade already wasn't part of the rules, so it was counted as tampering. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then Jazz. I don't see them doing that much better. And then 9th seed, I put the Pelicans, just because they were.
Zion.
If
Yeah,
Zion stays
yeah.
healthy, I don't think he's good enough yet to carry them to the playoffs. But him and Lonzo are not too bad of a duo.
Lonzo is even a star in my eyes. He's just garbage.
I mean, he definitely didn't live up to expectations. But having a dynamic player like Zion could make him a pretty good
They got Brandon Ingram too.
as a passer. And Brandon Ingram might be another all-star
Mhm.
season from him. So I forgot who they got as a coach. But they did get an upgrade in the coach. Stan Van Gundy.
Oh, they got Van Gundy.
Yeah.
I like Van Gundy.
He was a pretty alright coach.
Was he Magic?
Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
When they made the finals,
Mhm.
he was their coach. So we'll see how that goes. I have them missing the playoffs. But they might. Grizzlies.
Yo,
Ja
Grizzlies,
Morant.
Ja Morant.
If John Morant makes the
Yeah.
leap, Jaren Jackson Jr. as well.
Mhm.
They're a very good duo. But they didn't make any moves this
West
season.
is just always so much better.
It's so it's
Yeah,
very.
it's-
There's
it
maybe
is.
like 12 potential playoff teams.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
I'm
for
gonna,
the West, the argument is who's not going to make the playoffs. For the East is who's going to barely make
Yeah.
it.
Who
Yeah.
scratches the surface?
Right, who's just going to get lucky.
Yeah, another dark horse team I do want to mention was the Timberwolves, because
Cat.
they have D'Angelo
Russell.
Russell and Karl Anthony Towns,
Yeah.
Malik Beasley, who
Ah.
he's kind of a weird person,
Yeah, I
but
like him, yeah.
the games he did play with Minnesota, he's averaging like 20 points on like shooting like 39% from three.
Didn't the Spurs pick up somebody too?
The Spurs aren't going to make the playoffs anymore. I think their time is up.
They need another
I don't know
team.
if the Spurs got anyone. They still got DeRozan,
Lakers
Lonnie
was-
Walker.
Lakers was supposed to get DeRozan, right?
No, that was just rumors.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't
'Cause he
think
just
that-
lives in
that's
Los
gonna
Angeles.
happen. Yeah,
Mm.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Also, he wouldn't be that good. He makes way too much money for how much the Lakers could afford. Yeah, that's pretty much it. For I don't know if you want to do MVP, just
That can be another
a
video.
prediction,
Yeah.
Yeah.
another segment.
Yeah. All right, so that's where we're gonna cut it off. Top 8 from each conference. Lakers and Milwaukee on top again for the third year in a row, which
Second
I don't
year.
think